Welcome, you guys, to episode 5 of the Behind the Mic podcast with Matt and my co host AJ over there, as well as we just finished up broadcasting for the night. Unfortunately, we had the podcast has been a little bit on a hiatus because we may have recorded one and the audio file may have got lost, AJ.
Yeah, I'm really upset about that, but we're actually doing something pretty cool tonight. You are streaming along with myself streaming.
Yeah, double
Of the
stream right
Behind the
now
Mic
going on
podcast with Matt
for
and
this
my co-host
episode.
AJ,
Uh, Episode
as well as
5,
we just
titled on
finished up
my end
broadcasting
as
for the night.
the NASCAR
Unfortunately,
Ignition
the
Dumpster
podcast
21 Ignition
on a
Dumpster
hiatus
Fire. That's
because
going to
we
be a
may have
fun
recorded
conversation.
one and the audio yeah, right now
May have got
mine is
lost,
just
AJ.
labeled as fun talk with AJ, and then I just have in the descriptions that it's just you and I just pretty much just BSing about the dumpster fire that the NASCAR game was with other video game talk.
Yeah, I know we're behind the ball here on this one,
Oh God, we are so behind the ball here. It's like not even funny.
but as a former console player, a former league owner on said consoles games, I am personally offended of the trash that we've got on console for NASCAR fans. Okay, I'm going to give my take first, AJ, because I kind of feel like this is going to be a very personal take on it.
Oh, I got a big one too. Don't you worry, pal, because I am probably more recent than you with console NASCAR gaming.
Yeah. So I understand we all have iRacing, and iRacing is great. But iRacing does not bring young kids into the sport. I don't care who you say it, you know it does not. Where you get your young fans is the console game. How on God's crying green earth can you make a console game so god awful bad that it makes NASCAR inside the line look like the greatest thing on earth?
No. Not NASCAR Inside Line. NASCAR Heat Evolution was the worst racing game I've ever played. Not just NASCAR game, worst racing game I've ever played.
Yes, but this tops it, in my opinion, from what I've seen.
Oh, 100%.
You okay, you have your own line of lobbies. You can't even set up a private race. How is leagues going to survive
It's
that have been
not.
around for years? You're not.
What's going to end up happening is actually, speaking of leagues, my buddy who I mentioned in our uh, broadcasts, the NUS series, NASCAR United series, Bud Richer, TJ, Dave, Nate, all those guys, Rocky, they're actually running on Heat 5 because that's how bad NASCAR 21 Ignition is.
Yeah, and it's not just 21. This is not the game. Look, if it was the first bad NASCAR game, I could overlook it. But my googly moogly, how many years? How many? We're almost at a decade now of not great NASCAR games. How is that possible? How? How? Okay, I get iRacing is partnered with NASCAR, and that's the semi one, like the sim aspect of it all. But how can you have a game out there with your freaking name on it that is that bad? And not only that, now we get to say, oh, Motorsports Games gets to make the next new IndyCar game that's been wanted for 10 years. And what do they make up to that point? This. I just don't see how it's good.
You know me, Matt. For however long we've been talking together, I've, for the most part, kept the level head when it comes
Mhm.
to stuff.
Yes.
But this has been a disgrace when it comes to game launches. Like, I thought Cyberpunk 2077 was bad. I think this absolutely takes the cake.
Yes.
Like, for everybody I've talked to, um, for everybody I've talked to with this, the framework is there,
Yes.
which that's all fine and dandy. That's all good. But the execution of that framework has been so bad. You know, I would advise people to hold off until more patches have been brought in. Hell, they don't even have stage racing. Cautions don't even work right. And some of the controls don't even work right. I know somebody who's been playing that their car just dead lefts every time they're on a straightaway.
Yeah,
So,
because the steering assist would never go off. I think they finally got that fixed. But congratulations, Motorsports Games. You had to put in a patch to fix a steering assist. Are you kidding me?
it I would honestly have went and talked to NASCAR about their contract with putting a game out every year because they inherited 704's deal because they bought it out.
But
I would have went to NASCAR and says, "Hey, this game is not finished. You need to give us more time if you want a better product out there every time they're on a straightaway."
well, here's the problem. I can't lay all the.
I think they finally got.
Here's what I'll say.
But congratulations.
I'm not going to lay all this on Motorsports Games. Actually, I
Oh,
hold
really?
NAS, I hold NASCAR responsible as well. If I've got a okay, so you're making a game for Extreme Sim TV, AJ, right? You're making a game, and I got you under contract, right? You got to produce one a year, and I find out this game is garbage. What's the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to come to you and say, AJ, I'm not putting that out there with my name on it.
Absolutely.
Fix it. So NASCAR, listen up. You're just as guilty here. You're a guilty party. You had NASCAR 21 trucks at tracks promoting this hot, flaming garbage mess. And here's why I get so ticked off about this is we all love NASCAR, but you cannot bring new fans in, young fans, if you don't have an accessible excuse me, product for them to enjoy in their video game without it looking like dog garbage. Come on. See, I knew I was going to get fired up on this topic.
Well,
I
no,
knew it.
and people should rightfully so be fired up about this.
And
I completely agree with you because yeah, they're pumping out patches left and right. There were 2 patches within the first week of its release. Cool. That's fine and dandy. But the way it shipped to those people who paid that extra money to play that game early, they got gypped. And
yeah,
and I don't care. I'm not sponsored. You're not sponsored by 704 Motorsports Games, but we always tell it how it is.
yep. And here is my my community thoughts. I'm not going to say names. I'm going to be bigger than some YouTubers would say. But from the people I have watched, some of them, I am ashamed of the amount of cover up that they are doing and not just saying, yeah, this is garbage. Well,
Well,
this works, so it's a good base. No. We've been talking good base for the last 12 years. When are we going to get a decent game, huh?
I would say to their, I'm not backing them or anything because I know exactly who you're talking about. Um, but the game is there. A good game is there. It just needs to be found. So I think outside of just saying, "Hey, go buy this game," which a lot of them are not saying, they're literally a lot of them saying, you need to wait. This game is unfinished, but the
Yeah,
good game is there.
I'm not. I understand that, but I guess I come from it from the long term standpoint. You know, let's go back in time, shall we? So NASCAR 09 is done and over, and oh wait, it's NASCAR the game 2011. Oh great, we get a NASCAR game. Wasn't a great game, and I was like, you know what? It's better than nothing. We'll build from here. And it just seems like every single time it's we'll build from here.
Hmm.
When are we going to quit building when we got a game right once already, aka NASCAR Thunder 2004? Oh yeah, that ran on the PS2. When are we going to get it right? Oh,
So
2030?
again, I know I am closer to console racing than you are because I literally just raced on Heat 5 in a league last year. or not even last year, over the summer before I really got into iRacing. Heat 5 was really good, and it had Cup, Xfinity, and Truck. Yeah, there were some issues when it came to racing online. That was it. I had so much fun when it came to Heat 5. That was a very good game compared to NASCAR 21 Ignition. And for
Well,
anybody listening right now, Matt, sorry to cut you off. There
you're
are
fine.
two streams of this out right now. If you're supporting Extreme Sim TV, subscribe, like the video,
With
but
loot,
come over to NDNT, Nerds Doing Nerd Things, but it's the acronym of it, the NDNT space AJ All Star 15. That's my channel.
yeah.
Come support
Go,
me. I'm trying to
yeah,
blow
go
up my
support
audience
yourself.
too, but I raced Heat 5. Heat 4 and 5 I thought were very good. Like I mean this even without NASCAR 21 coming out. You were able to have fun races. But once Ignition comes out, it's like, yes, it looks good, but it's trash.
Yes. Now, I'm coming at this from a different aspect. I understand you're coming back from the online point, which is very important. But when, okay, I get they had career mode, but when are we going to get a great career mode that I can hand to a 7-year old or whatever and say, hey, here's a great career mode to get into NASCAR or into the gaming of
If
NASCAR
I'm going
or
to be completely honest with you, and I've done a lot of research when it comes to Ignition, and that's the
yeah,
newest game that's coming out for anybody who's not aware. And we're going to get to other games soon and with a bunch of other bullshit topics. We're just hitting the big topic right now.
we're
So
hitting the Matt blowing his load topic before we go on to the
so
next one.
bear
Yeah,
with us if you're not a
anyway.
NASCAR fan because we are going to hit some other games because I have some thoughts about some other games.
Yeah.
Um it's for the research I've done about NASCAR 21 Ignition and its career mode, there is so much more in this career mode that you cannot do, but it's there. Like, I think I was watching a YouTuber and it shows that each driver has their worth in there. And the only thing I brought to that was like, so what you're telling me it's going to turn into like F1 where their worth is going to be like what you're going to have to pay them to get on your team. And I'm like, but why have that in the game if you
Yeah.
can't?
Again, it goes. I feel like it personally. It goes back. Looky here. Look over here. Look at what is coming eventually. Look what we can do. Don't pay attention to this one. Just support us.
Which, people do every year. Call of Duty, Battlefield. They literally do that every year with millions of people just pre-ordering the game.
Yes, I'm not going to say it's not just a NASCAR. This is a gaming problem, folks.
It,
When are we going to quit accepting broken games at release? When is that not going to be okay? And
oh,
maybe we went past the point of it ever changing.
I
Really,
from probably about 2 years ago when I really started purchasing a lot of games, maybe 2 3 years ago. Other than that, I would just okay, I'm gonna buy a game when that comes out. Then now it's or recently it's like, oh, that looks cool, boom, buy. Oh, that looks pretty cool,
yeah,
boom, buy, or boom, pre-order. I stopped pre-ordering games because I felt like I was handing a company money for a game that was unproven. I
yes,
haven't pre-ordered the new Call of Duty game. As much as I want to play it, I'm not pre-ordering it because what's the point? It's gonna come out. Look at Call of Duty World War II 5 years ago. The
yeah,
whole headquarters zone was completely unplayable or unusable for the first 2 3 months.
right,
As small of a part of that game was, it was riding on that. You saw like, hey, you have this whole area, uncombative area for you guys to do gun training, to do quartermaster, to
right.
hang out. And, they had a 1v1 pit in there too. Completely unplayable. The game kept crashing left and right. And don't get me wrong, World War II, that Call of Duty game by Sledgehammer Games had one of the best campaigns I have ever played.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a great game. I played it as well. But like you said, for the first little bit, it was virtually unplayable at the headquarters. Which, for you guys like AJ said that don't know the headquarters, it all circled around the headquarters. You needed the headquarters to work.
yeah, because that was your like home base while matches weren't
Yeah.
being going on. Um, but
Or at the
other than
time
that,
that was that
when
that was
did when did it
that,
start where it became okay for games to release and them not be finished?
this is to me this has been a problem. What at least 8, 9 years or so now.
Because I will throw
It,
this out. I'll throw this out there, and this is a game I want to talk to a little bit later. Talk on a little bit later. The new Guardians of the Galaxy game by Square Enix is done. It is done. It's complete. Maybe there's a couple bugs people have found. That's it. But it is done. It's a fantastic game, and I hope people go and buy it. It is that good.
wow. Well, and that's like, and I'm going to give it a plug here, even though everybody's going to think I'm a nerd. But um, Farming Sim 22 that's coming up. Out of every Farming Sim game that has been released, AJ, there has not been one broken game at release. And I bought the last three on release night, right? But why is that? Oh, wait, we don't get Farming Sim games every year. It's like a 3 or 4 year cycle, right?
Yeah.
So when it's done, it is done right, and everything looks great. And for those of us that just want to ride around in a tractor and plow a field all night long and chill out, it's great, right? Now, would I go buy their next game if the last one was hot garbage? Absolutely not, right?
No,
Like
they
we're
need to earn faith back.
exactly now because I have faith. Guess what? I've already pre-ordered
You probably already pre-ordered the new farming
22.
simulator game.
Yeah, because I know from their track record that I have no reason to believe it's not going to be um, good. And honestly, guys, the only reason to even pre-order anymore is to preload the game. Right? That's literally the only reason, and that's the
And
reason why I done it.
and I will be completely honest. You are 100% right. I pre-ordered my last Call of Duty. I pre-ordered. Oh God, was Black Ops 4.
Yeah,
And don't I probably got the first. I probably got Modern Warfare and then Cold War that day after people started playing it, and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. So I wasn't that far behind, but people, do your research on games. Don't
Let,
buy a broken game that you're not gonna enjoy.
let's go to Old Man Tells Story from Old Time Away. So way back in the day of Black Ops 2 release. All right, so
I
some
remember
buddy
that
of mine.
release.
All right, so we went to GameStop, right? Story time of man again. So we get at GameStop at 10:30. You know how crazy release nights were, man.
Oh, those were so much fun.
Man, two or three of us showed up at Little Caesars Pizza. Right, this is 10:30 at night. We got people showing up with pizza and drinks, and we're literally partying outside of GameStop, eating pizza, just chilling. There was so many people there that there was like 3 county deputies that showed up just to make sure nothing went down.
Matt, I remember it very clearly. Um, I was I used to live in Derby, Connecticut. Now I live up in Waterbury. Not a big deal, but Derby had a really cool GameStop where I don't know if it was just the people that lived in the area,
Right.
but I remember outside waiting to get it. And I had my buddy with me, and we're just, chilling outside. We got our ticket, and these couple dudes show up in ghillie suits. And one showed up in like a flat jacket, and it was cool. I missed the midnight releases.
Right. Well, I will tell you this on this particular midnight release, dude. You know how usually everybody would get the game, run out the door, and go home, right? Because that's midnight release, right? Literally, they had to run us out of the parking lot at 2:30 in the morning because we got our games and we just sat around chit chatting, eating pizza because we knew when we all went home we'd get on, and we spent like 2 extra hours just sitting there chilling. Being a community, hanging out.
I miss
Do
that so much.
and that's the thing. So you take what from my area, maybe 200 people were there in this community, right? That could stay around and do that type of thing. But you're never going to get that back.
No, I severely miss, and I mean this, severely miss going into game shops, not just GameStop, like KB Toys, all these other places where you could just go in, chill, and talk about games. Um,
Yeah.
but before we go any further, I'm plugging everything again. If you're watching on an Extreme Sim TV, that is Matt's channel. Matt, say hi.
Hi, everybody. Kim's going to kill us for recording so late.
Nah, it's fine. A dead Matt is a no fun Matt, but you have to live with her. But if you're not watching on Extreme Sim TV, or if you want to come help out my channel, it is NDNT AJ All Star 15. Check me out. I also have a podcast page, which is Nerds Doing Nerd Things. But you know, I think I figured it out tonight. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it. But I'm
Yeah.
happy we're doing this, pal. I mean, I really miss the experience of going to
Right.
game
But what
stores and getting games.
what happened to let's take this one step further even. When did this gaming, now we're talking gaming as a whole. What happened to staying all night hanging out with your buddies, playing Call of Duty, eating pizza, not caring it? Nobody cared back then if you win or lost. It had nothing to do with that. We had fun, right?
I mean,
Which I guess
I
in a lot of
remember
ways,
Modern Warfare 2 getting cussed out by I he had to be younger than me. He definitely sounded younger than me. But completely getting cussed out by a kid and telling me my mom's a hoe well before I knew my mom was a hoe.
oh well, there's that. But good one, bud. But we keep rolling. Well, here's the thing. You're right. It devolved into that, and then it devolved into the fun of it. And this is another topic we'll touch on later. But me personally, this weekend I'm going to airsoft. Well, why am I going to airsoft? Because a lot of ways you want that community that you can hang out with like that back. And from what I've seen, that's one of the communities, right?
Yeah.
That you can hang out and like talk about whatever you're going to do and talk about. I used to remember we would talk for hours on end. What's the best scuff gaming controller to go get?
Oh God. I
It was
know a
just
couple
hours
people that still talk about that, and what controller is best for auto rapid fire.
yeah.
I'm not saying they were cheating, but that's a definitely cheating controller.
What was the best controller for sniping? What was the best layout for camping? And all this wonderful things. And we look, I guess, yes, you could say we look at it from rose tinted glasses a little bit, but man, damn, you miss it, dude, because
Oh, I 100% miss it. I
there is no game stores, there is no blockbuster to go. Oh, Halloween Kills, which I watched the other day, but it wasn't like, oh, I had to go to the video store and rent Halloween Kills and talk to people there about it and get oh, I'm just going to turn on Peacock. You see how anticlimactic that is?
it is, and I don't want to call it depressing, but I
It is, bro.
I love my wife so much, and it's the little things like she lets me, hey, go downstairs, go relax, go play with your friends, or go
Right.
broadcast with Matt, or she understands that when I'm working, it sucks, and it's not because my job sucks. It's just I'm not home relaxing. But when
Yeah.
I get home, I do whatever chores that need to get done. And she's like, go relax, go have fun. I either jump on the computer to come hang out with you and broadcast on Extreme Sim TV. Please check them out. It's awesome racing all week. Or I
Yeah,
go hang out with my buddies, whether
yeah,
it's, James and Will on PlayStation or, Bud, TJ, Nate, and Rocky on Xbox.
yeah, and it's just so. I get. I don't want to use the word depressing. But it is. It's. I'm not gonna give away names, but I had a younger person ask me. He's like, "Hey man, how do you meet girls now without meeting them on the internet?" Yeah, I sat there and I thought about it a minute, and I'm like, "Well, how do you
I don't
think of?"
know. I don't know. I have no clue.
I mean, luckily, me and you don't have to deal with it now
Well,
because we got ours. But
I lucked out. And here's the story behind it because I know you don't know, and if anybody's watching, if they don't know. Um, so there's a grocery store up in Connecticut, New England, and maybe the New York, New Jersey, and around there. It's called Stop and Shop, and I got hired there. I was 19. Jesus Christ, I was like 19.
oh
Shit,
god,
maybe
oh
no,
god,
maybe 19 or 20. I don't know. Math, whatever. And the first day I got hired, they told me to go bag on register 7. I think it was
yeah,
register 7, whatever. Because I remember the day very clearly, and I will tell you the whole story because it's funny as hell.
go ahead.
Um, so I go up. I'm this, hey, I just got hired, so I'm all like ready to make kind of work friends and everything. And I
Uh,
start talking to this beautiful woman, and she goes, "Would you just shut up and bag?" From that day on, she was going to be mine. I loved her
oh well,
so much, and that was Jessica. And that's how me and her started talking. And funny thing is she has a twin brother who I did not know at the time because of brand new, and they both worked at the same supermarket. They're like, AJ, they need help outside grabbing carriages and bringing them in. So, hey, you go to that side, and the other guy's going to stay on the other side, split the parking lot. And his side of the parking lot had the bottle return area. He runs over to my area. Hey, dude, I need help in the bottle room. Can you come over and help me? And I'm like, no, fuck off. I was told to stay over on this side. Not knowing that was her brother, her twin brother.
good job, buddy.
Oops.
Yeah, good
But
job.
now I'm married into the family, and she's my wife. She's my one, like literally my best friend. Like, I love Susie, I love Will, I love Paul. She is my one absolute best friend, and her brother is my drinking buddy.
And if anybody's seen AJ's personal Facebook page, we all know that he won the pony on that
But
one.
that's the story, and how I met Jess and everything. But
Yeah, I think the direction we're headed in the conversation is like, man, people just don't hang out anymore. They don't.
no, no,
When's the last time I've hung out with a personal real life friend that's not on the computer? God, what, a year, 2 years,
well,
and they don't come around.
I will give my group that, and I'll even say I know a couple people other than our group. We try to get together, if not once every week, once every 2 weeks, because we overall enjoy each other's company. But it's good to still socialize with people, to go out. Hell, Jessica and I and my co-host Susie and her husband Will, we double date at least once a month, and I at least feel, and I don't know if they do, but I at least feel that's good. Hey, you go out, have fun. But I wouldn't be the person I am now if, number one, it wasn't for my father and brothers, who have always had my back and all that wonderful stuff. But I wouldn't be, as you know in the head if it wasn't for obviously my family, but if it wasn't for Jessica, Susie, and Will, and my best man in the wedding, Paul, um,
Yeah.
there's so many people I can thank for keeping me not sane, because I don't want nobody's truly sane anymore. But I enjoy being around people, and if
It
it
keeps
wasn't
you
if
so
it
much
wasn't
around.
for them, I don't know if nerds doing nerd things would exist.
Yeah.
Because that's my baby. I thought, wouldn't it be cool to start, a podcast about all things we enjoy talking about? But if to be all honest, it wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for out them. And now I got you being a part of it because we channel partner with Extreme Sim TV.
Yeah. Which was just a happenstance deal that kind of came together over talking about microphones. Crazy how that works out.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job broadcasting for SRL. I take nothing away from you broadcasting for SRL. You did a fantastic job. But one thing I think I said to you well before this ever happened, I go, I think you would be better with another person in the booth, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not not knowing it was going to be me.
Yeah, not knowing it was going to be you that ended up in here with me
But
in the trap of Matt.
but after I get all soppy there, let's actually go back to having some fun because I feel like we have maybe another 15, 20 minutes before we really pack up, go home, and I have to go to bed because I have to get blood work done in the morning and I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Uh
Uh, th-
so you beat Far Cry, dude.
I did. I did. I beat Far Cry 6. So,
Give us your overall review of it.
the gameplay was Far Cry. Ubisoft. If you play it, you know what you're going to get there. The 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 bullet attachments was a nice plus, but I didn't find it necessary because I just rocked the armor piercer the whole time, and you don't really need to change that. This story, I liked it. I am disappointed in not seeing the main villain as much in this one. The ending, without giving spoilers, oh boy. Huh. Go play through it, go watch it if you don't have time because this is going to tie out. So there is a theory going around that now makes the timeline of the game all jacked up. So, do you want me to go into it, AJ, or you want me to leave it to you on that one?
Nah,
Because
go
I
for it, pal. Go for it.
so in Far Cry 3, when you're on the island with Boss, you take these pills, right? Or they give you the substance that makes you see visions and kind of in a loopy doopy crazy world. Well, in Far Cry 6, you're taking these same visions here and there when you get into the I can't think of the name of it, but in the stuff that they're producing in Six's world that helps cure cancer, but at a more higher dose, it will cause you to have these mental visions. At the end of the game, Voss makes an appearance as he is trafficking the drugs off the island for one of the old rebel leaders who partnered with you to overthrow the villain. I'm trying to keep it non, too spoiler, but so with Voss coming in, that now tells the Far Cry community, it's kind of backed up by the comic book, which we'll get into in a moment, that Far Cry 6 actually took place 2 years prior to Far Cry 3. There
So,
go Voss is actually smuggling the drugs from where you're at now to his island.
well, you completely just blew my mind.
Did I blow it?
Oh, completely blew my mind there.
So, now this is still a theory. The devs haven't confirmed it, but the crumbs are there, right? You start putting the crumbs together. So this also means that this also took a place before the events of Hope County in Far Cry 5. Now, how does Hope County fit into this? Well, and pagan men and yada yada yada. The pagan men in Far Cry 4, the island was mentioned. So that also tells us that the drugs from 6 were also on the island with pagan men in 4. So what this tells me as a astute Far Cry fan is this whole timeline could have started with Far Cry 6 and them trying to overthrow the dictator, who was obviously based off the Cuban Revolution as well. You okay there, AJ?
Yeah, I am really trying to
Wrap your head around it.
yeah, no shit.
Now, again, it's an activity of putting the breadcrumbs together, right? Of how the timeline kind of goes. Now, what will they do in these? Now, this is where the DLC comes in, right? Because what will the does the DLC tell anymore? We know they're a playable character, but will it give you more breadcrumbs to follow?
I'm really curious because isn't the DLC the villains?
Yes, sir.
So, for people just joining us, if anybody's there on either end, we're currently talking about Far Cry. If you wanted to hear anything about NASCAR 21 Edition, that is the first thing we talked about.
Yeah,
And then we went
that
into some miscellaneous stuff, which was definitely fun to listen to. Now, Matt is taking us through his experience with Far Cry 6.
which is definitely a mind trip in and of itself with Far Cry 6.
So, would you actually recommend Far Cry 6? Like, if you played Far Cry 5, 3, 4, 5, or whatever, would you recommend them Far Cry 6? Because, to my knowledge, Far Cry 6 is pretty much mechanically, like, controls and
Yes,
everything is basically 5. Would you recommend them to buy 6?
I would go by 3 first, play 3 first, right? Go play 4, go play 5 because if you want, but at this current time in the timeline, we're not sure how it fits in. Then go get 6 because if you do it that way, you have the basis to follow the breadcrumbs, and then you can kind of, especially if it's all fresh in your mind, right? For me, playing 3 was 4 years ago, right? So I remember it, but not as detailed as it would be if go binge play the series would be my recommendation if you're just getting into it, right? Binge play it, play them back to back. That way you can pick up the breadcrumbs and maybe, hey, you can find something that the Far Cry fans have not found yet. Because this to me is shaping up to be a mind bender series, which is very smart in my opinion from Ubisoft. Right? That's brilliant because there's more to it than what you think is there, if that makes sense. So yes, go get this game just for the story alone.
And I'm playing it right now. I'm a lot slower than Matt when it comes to Far Cry because I'm kind of waiting on my buddy James, which shout out to James, uh, to get it and so we can play together because I think the whole game is
It's
co-op.
co-op. Yeah, you can.
So I bring up my buddy James, and you see on my end and on Extreme Sim TV when Matt brings up the artwork, um, James and Carly both contribute to a lot of the artwork that is on the show. So they do a fantastic job. And please check them out. I am currently pulling up at least Carly's Instagram because I don't think James really draws on his, but when he does, I will plug it. Oh, for anybody who wants to see how awesome Carly does her artwork, look up Hammerhead Designs. And that's hammer with an A at the end instead of the ER. She does a fantastic job. It's all one word on Instagram. Please check her out. Uh, she does a really good job, and she just got a better iPad. iPad or Surface, one of the two, where she could draw on, and I'm really excited to see what she does next. But
Yeah,
I kind of want to bring it to. You talked about Far Cry. I want to take
she's
it to
on Twitter,
Guardians.
right? Is she on Twitter? Sorry about that. Is she on Instagram?
That is on Instagram. It's Hammerhead Designs. HAMMARHEAD Designs, all one word. And then on Twitter. Oh God, I haven't used Twitter in years. Thanks, pal.
Right.
On Twitter, you're gonna want to have to look up at KAR_OFTHE_river.
And I found the Instagram, I do believe. Hammerhead Designs Instagram, right?
Yep. If you pull it up on your screen, I'm watching it right now. I'll be able to tell you. But they both do a fantastic job. Her and James, 100% do a fantastic job.
Let's see. I don't think that one's it. Nope, that one's not yet. I'm going to find it at some point here. Right, now you got me curious.
Well, it's purple and black.
Continue to the galaxy, and we'll.
Oh man, Guardians of the Galaxy, like 100%. I wasn't expecting a gem like this big of a gem. Because Square Enix's last game I played was the Avenger game, which it's another Marvel game, but I didn't not like the format of. I didn't like the format of it, and it wasn't fun. So I was kind of like, all right, well, you know, my buddy was kind of trying to talk me into it, even though I was being cautious about it. I am so happy I got it.
Oh, really?
It is the new Guardians of the Galaxy game, which I think is on all consoles, including PC. Which I would actually recommend getting it on PC for the better frame rate. So, it's an RPG, a role-playing game where you play as Star-Lord, who is the main guy in the movies. He's played by Chris Pratt.
Okay.
And you control the whole team. Like, you're like, hey, Rocket, you need to throw a grenade there. So you press a button, and then he throws a grenade where you told him to throw it. It's so good, and the story is so unique. It's not a story you've ever heard in a comic, so it's only to this game.
All right.
So I would check it out. If you're a Marvel fan, if you're an RPG fan, I would check it out. They knocked this out of the park. Like, I felt for these characters at the end of the game, and I'm currently on my next playthrough.
Wow. So you're going to play it twice?
Well, they have New Game Plus, so of course I'm going to play it twice.
Are you going to go New Game Plus Plus?
Oh God, is there another? Is there plus plus? Or are you just messing with me?
I'm messing with you.
Okay, I was just checking. Because that would stink. Because if I gotta beat the game on a harder difficulty now, no thanks, pal.
There might be a Game Plus Plus Plus. Yeah, I mean, you never know. Well, man, it is getting almost to that 12 o'clock time period. We went pretty good tonight. Pretty long one. I had a lot of fun. And, man, what a night it's been.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic night, dude. Monday nights are always fun. You had the Road to Indy series that were at Long Beach. That was an interesting race. It was a very interesting race.
Texas. Come to Discord, bub.
You talking to me?
No, Texas. This is the perfect platform. So you got to go to bed there, AJ. So, unfortunately, but
did I miss something? I feel like I missed something.
Oh, it's on my end.
Oh,
Oh,
it's come to this talking
yeah,
games. I don't know. Me and you have wanted to do this for a while to just bullshit
yeah,
about games and everything.
dude, yeah. I don't care. Like sim racing is not the only thing that I'm a part of.
No, but if you're gonna badmouth anybody, I would recommend you not doing it.
No, I'm just saying. Which one? Well, here's the thing, Tex. Like we've talked about Far Cry and we've talked about NASCAR. And which one we own here? We've done NASCAR Nation, Galaxy, and now we're this one. Or no, we did. What did we do first? We did NASCAR first, right? And
Yep,
then we did Far Cry and then
yep.
Galaxy.
We did Guardians of the Galaxy.
So we've done Touchdown Far Cry, dude. That was like a while back. But yeah, dude, it's been a great night as always, right?
Yeah, I love Monday nights. I 100% love Monday nights, and if we could do like a short podcast afterwards, like we did tonight, I'm
Yeah.
100% for this because I enjoy bullshitting because it's relaxing.
Yeah, it is. And again, the whole point is to get away from broadcasting for a bit. As much as I love to do it, there's also other things I enjoy doing. Like Saturday, I'm going for my first airsoft experience, which is uh, either going to be great, or I'm going to come home with a bunch of whelps all over
I
my
would say
body
try
because
not to get shot in the ass.
um, looking forward to it. Don't know how it's going
To
to
get
go,
shot in the
but
ass?
well, yeah, that's probably going to happen. That will hurt, right?
Well, unless you're perfectly padded. You know, I have a big butt. I might be okay.
But you should come play with me. That way I'm not getting shot. See, I tried to get Kim to do it. Uh,
Well, you stopped. Kim didn't want to come play with you because you said you were going to use her as a freaking shield.
well, yes, I was going to use her like the Captain America shield.
And then you
Oh
wonder why she said no.
no, it's a perfect look, dude. Here's the thing. Here's the way to do this. Is I put like a string on her back, right, and then we just lead her around in front of me, and she becomes like a riot shield. See, and then I can just advance forward.
I don't think you're helping your cause, pal.
I think it's
I mean
perfectly
that in the nicest way
logical.
possible. I don't think you're helping your cause.
Well, man, look. Here's the deal. They'll see her cute face and they won't fire at her, but they'll fire at me.
I don't know. I've played airsoft once and they didn't give no shits who it was.
Yeah, and so good point. Well, man, before we go on an airsoft tangent, that I'll probably talk about next week. I'm either going to come back and tell you I'll never do it again, or I'll come back and tell you I'm going next week.
Hmm.
I guess it won't be a next week because the season's about over.
Uh,
Because where it's an outdoor field.
Depends on when the first snowfall is, and you're in Virginia, so that might be a while.
Yeah, it might be a little bit. I know they do a winter tournament too. Like they wait till a big snowfall and then they do a winter tournament, which I think would be really fun because like they rent out like these white ghillie suits, right? So then you're using snow and blending in. It sounds like something that I would do. It's basically Call of Duty in real life.
Yeah, I can imagine you dolphin diving behind cover.
Hey, I might try the wall run, see how that goes.
Oh God, let's not talk about that kind of. No, I'd rather not talk about that kind of Call of Duty. Ugh, brings back horror stories.
Yeah, it does. It's not a fun Call of Duty. That being said, folks, we will get ready to go for next week's podcast next, hopefully either Monday evening. We're going to try to do these things live because we tried recording it and that did not go so well.
And I appreciate everybody who's bearing with me. I'm learning OBS as we speak. So it was kind of a miracle for me to get it up and running.
Well, you got that far. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, and
Guys,
we are playing, so it worked.
it worked. Thank you everybody for all your support. It means a lot to me as we head into 2022 and what's been a great year on the broadcasting front, and now the me sitting here talking an hour about how bad NASCAR 21 was and Far Cry and everything else. Um, Upcoming will be Farming Simulator when it releases. I'll get to nerd out over that, and you guys will sit there and think, "Who cares? It's running a tractor
She
around a
thinks
circle."
your tractor sexy.
And then that's about it for me. And Mister, I gotta go get the shots or something in the morning.
Oh no, it's not a shot. It's actual blood work. But I'm AJ from Nerds Doing Nerd Things. Check out my podcast. We're on pretty much all podcasting sites, and soon to be more uploads on YouTube. You could search for us on YouTube under the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. Currently, I think we only have 4 videos up, but we're gonna start pumping our backlog out soon. But other than that, check us out on Facebook. We're a big community of a bunch of nerds that like having fun, just memeing and having chats on YouTube. So check us out. We have an episode coming out every Friday. This Friday is our My Hero Academia World's Mission episode. That movie just released on the 29th, which I think was Friday. So check us out, please. Thank you, everybody, for supporting my channel, my Doing Nerd Things channel, and Matt's Extreme Sim TV channel, because we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for all of you.
Yep, that's exactly right, guys. Thank you all for all your support, and we will see you in the next episode. Maybe we'll get another special guest in here. You never know.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we'll go see if we can. I know who we can go talk to. Let's see if we can get Sasha Banks on. Yeah, like that's gonna
That might cost some money, pal. I wouldn't try that.
happen.
That might cost some money me and you both do not have.
We would not be drooling, honey.
Now, if we were talking about Becky Lynch or Alexa Bliss, 100%. Oh, crap. I hear my wife moving upstairs.
Alexa Bliss, really, really, bro, Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, 5 Feet of Fury.
5 feet of fury. Oh my god.
All right, everybody. That's Matt
Alright.
from Extreme Sim TV. I'm AJ from Nerds Doing Nerd Things. Thanks for checking us out and hanging out with us. Y'all have a good rest of your... Actually, it's Tuesday now, so